So, Kim Kardashian just dropped her most baffling product yet, shapewear for your face. Yes, you heard that right. Under her billion-dollar SKIMS brand, she's now selling something called a seamless Sculpt face wrap. And let me tell you, the internet was not just confused, it was livid. What Kim is calling a face innovation is being dragged online as one of the most dystopian beauty products ever created.
SKIMS just launched face shapewear. They're calling it the ultimate face. I don't know, it's making me feel so uncomfortable. Like, where we're going is scary. We have to tape our mouths. We have to take Ozempic to be skinny. Now we have to sleep with this gear on to literally maintain our beauty. For who? It's probably triggering me because I just feel like I am in this like endless game of reversing time and not letting myself age. I'm only 27, and I'm bombarded with like all these things that I should do now before it's too late. Too late for what? Like, can't we just age gracefully? Oh my God.
But this isn't just about a weird bandage-like contraption. This is about the entire Kardashian business model, a machine that has gotten terrifyingly good at creating insecurities and then conveniently selling you the cure. So is this the moment Kim K finally went too far? Let's get into it.
Hi, you're poor. So why not spend some of that money you do not have on a product you do not need? Why not help another Kardashian laugh all the way to the bank? Do you remember that time when you thought you could go from this to this by buying a lip kit? Now you can have a surgically enhanced snatched jaw by buying a SKIMS face shapewear. This must-have face wrap boasts signature sculpting fabric and has collagen yarns. Collagen. Not that any of you lot know what collagen yarns do, but collagen. Yep, you might end up looking like Hannibal Lecter, but it's Hannibal Lecter approved. All yours for £52.
All right, so let's break down exactly what this thing is. It's called the Seamless Sculpt Face Wrap, and it'll set you back a cool $48. And what do you get for that price? Essentially, a beige bandage-like contraption that wraps tightly around your head, promising to lift and sculpt your jaw. The promotional photos themselves were a choice. Models staring blankly, their faces constricted, looking like they just came out of a very specific and very expensive medical procedure. It's giving hospital chic, and frankly, it's unsettling. But according to Kim, this isn't just a piece of fabric. It's a necessity. And get this, in her own promo video, she claimed it offers amazing jaw support that, wait for it, snatches your little chinny chin chin.
Just this like amazing jaw support. You can see it just snatches your little chinny chin chin with the jaw, and it's
okay. I think it's enough.
Yes, she actually said that. Chinny chin chin. As if that's a problem we all needed a $48 solution for. The brand was selling it as the ultimate face innovation, but as soon as these images hit the internet, it became clear that people weren't seeing innovation. They were seeing something else entirely. And let me tell you, the internet's reaction was swift and it was brutal. This wasn't just a few negative comments. This was a full-blown digital riot. The meltdown was immediate. The comments section on the SKIMS Instagram post became an absolute dumpster fire of disbelief. Thousands of people flooded the post, asking things like, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke? Or simply stating, we are officially in a simulation. It was this collective global head scratch.
Hello, Kim. I'm already feeling 10 years younger. Goodbye.
But the confusion quickly turned into sharp criticism. On Reddit, a thread calling the face wrap predatory and a hyper-capitalistic shame immediately shot to the top of the forums. People weren't just laughing anymore, they were genuinely angry. They saw it for what it was, a brand inventing a new insecurity and then charging you $50 to fix it. This wasn't about empowerment or innovation, it was about making women feel bad about their jawlines. As one user bluntly put it, SKIMS, making women feel bad about themselves since 2018. But the backlash went way beyond just calling the product weird. People started looking closer at the marketing, at the actual claims Kim was making, and what they found made the whole thing feel even more like a scam.
Whatever happens, please do not listen to Kim Kardashian for facial advice. She's paid, she benefits. This facial SKIMS shapewear is an utter load of rubbish. It's going to do nothing, it's not going to help, and it's going to promise to reshape the face when literally it cannot. Don't get me wrong, if you put it on, it's going to obviously move the skin for a period of time, lasting probably an hour or so. But these are things that are utterly useless, and it's just not helpful. That shapewear is going to give you absolutely zero benefit.
Okay, but here's where the story goes from just being bizarre to straight up deceptive. Skims wasn't just selling a face wrap. Oh no, they were selling a face innovation, supposedly infused with collagen yarns. Sounds super fancy and scientific, right? Like you're wrapping your face in some kind of youth-giving wonder fabric? Well, people with internet access did a little digging, and it turns out when you look at the actual material list on their website, the face wrap is made of nylon and spandex. That's it, just plain old nylon and spandex. So what about the collagen? Here's a quick science lesson. Dermatologists will tell you that collagen molecules are naturally huge. They're way too big to just seep into your skin from a piece of cloth. It's not how science works. The idea that fabric infused with collagen could have any real benefit is, to put it mildly, a huge stretch. It's a classic marketing trick. Use a fancy-sounding ingredient to make a simple product seem revolutionary. They weren't just selling a face wrap, they were selling a lie. And if that wasn't bad enough, people started noticing something even more disturbing about the look of the product.
This face shapewear doesn't just look uncomfortable, it looks eerily familiar. Users all over the internet immediately notice that the wrap is a dead ringer for a medical compression garment. You know, the kind of headgear that doctors make you wear after you've had actual cosmetic surgery, like a facelift, a neck lift, or chin liposuction. And let's be real, that's not a coincidence. It's a deliberate aesthetic choice, and it's a deeply creepy one. By designing it this way, Skims is blurring the line between a simple beauty product and a post-op recovery tool. It suddenly normalizes the idea of surgical alteration, making that fresh from the plastic surgeon look into a daily beauty standard. The message it sends is wild. The goal isn't just to look like you have a snatched jawline, but to look like you're in the process of recovering from a procedure to get one. It's less beauty forward and more medical horror. And it's a perfect example of how the brand is feeding into some of the most toxic beauty ideals out there. But even with all of that, there was still one major question left to answer. Now, look, this face wrap thing might seem like a random, bizarre cash grab, but if you've been paying any attention to the Kardashian empire over the last decade, you know this is anything but random. This isn't an isolated incident, not even close. This is a symptom of a much larger and frankly more sinister business model that the entire family has perfected. It's a masterclass in modern marketing, and the formula is brutally simple. First, you either create or popularize an insecurity. You use your massive platform to set a new, often unattainable beauty standard. Then, once everyone feels terrible about not meeting it, you conveniently launch a product that promises to be the cure.
Let's rewind the clock a bit. Remember the waist trainer craze? Kim practically built that trend single-handedly with her endless stream of mirror selfies showing off her impossibly tiny waist cinched into a modern-day corset. Suddenly, millions of women were convinced they needed one, that this was the secret to an hourglass figure. But while Kim was selling this as the key to her physique, doctors and health experts were practically screaming from the rooftops, warning everyone that these things could squish your organs, restrict your breathing, and cause actual physical harm. It was a product promising to physically alter your body with questionable effectiveness and a ton of backlash. Sound familiar? It's the exact same playbook. But it didn't stop there. If they couldn't sell you on cinching your waist from the outside, they'd try from the inside. Who could forget the infamous appetite suppressant lollipops and diet teas they pushed on Instagram? They were marketing these products as a quick and easy way to stay thin, but the public outcry was massive. Critics accused them of promoting disordered eating habits to their millions of young, impressionable followers. The message was clear. Your natural body, and even your natural appetite, are problems that need to be suppressed and controlled. And that brings us right back to the face wrap. You see the pattern here, right? First, your waist isn't small enough. Then, your hunger is the problem. Now, with the launch of the face wrap, it's your jawline. It's a never-ending cycle of manufactured flaws. They present these hyper-edited, surgically enhanced, and filtered to perfection images of themselves, and then they turn around and sell you a $48 piece of elastic as the secret. It's a strategy that has built them a multi-billion-dollar empire off of the insecurities of others. This isn't just business, it's a cultural phenomenon. And what's truly terrifying is how perfectly this new product plugs into a bizarre and growing online trend that was already waiting for it.
And if you think this product just appeared in a vacuum, you haven't been on TikTok lately. What makes this launch feel so particularly strategic, so calculated, is how perfectly it plugs into a bizarre and rapidly growing online trend called the morning shed. If you haven't seen it, let me paint a picture for you. It's a trend where mostly young women document their incredibly elaborate overnight beauty routines. The whole concept is basically go to bed ugly so you can wake up pretty, and it has turned nighttime self-care into a high-pressure, hyper-capitalistic performance. These videos show girls getting ready for bed looking like they're preparing for a science experiment. They're taping their mouths shut to prevent mouth breathing, slathering their faces in thick layers of Vaseline and a trend called slugging, wrapping their hair in complicated heatless curl contraptions, and contouring their faces with fake tan. It's this whole ritual of applying a dozen different products and strapping on multiple devices, all in the name of shaving a few minutes off their morning glam routine. It's become a competition to see who can have the most complex, almost medicalized nighttime regimen. And right on cue into this world of obsessive overnight optimization drops the Skims face wrap. It's almost too perfect. It looks like just another piece of essential gear for the perfect morning shed. The Skims team knew exactly what they were doing. They even marketed it as a must-have addition to your nightly routine. This wasn't just a shot in the dark, it was a targeted move to capitalize on a pre-existing culture of extreme beauty obsession. They saw a trend fueled by insecurity and the constant need for self-improvement, and they created the perfect product to slot right into it. It's another layer of proof that this isn't about innovation, it's about seeing where the culture is going and figuring out how to make a profit from its most toxic elements.
For over a decade, the Kardashian machine has operated on this exact model, building a billion-dollar dynasty by setting impossible beauty standards and then selling the so-called tools to achieve them. But this time, it feels different. The backlash against the face wrap has been so immediate and so widespread that it feels like a turning point. People are tired, they are exhausted by the constant pressure to nip, tuck, contour, and now snatch every last inch of their bodies into submission. The outrage isn't just about a piece of fabric, it's a rejection of the entire philosophy that tells women they are projects to be perpetually fixed. This whole controversy forces us to ask a much bigger question. At what point does the pursuit of beauty stop being about self-care and start becoming a form of self-oppression, one that is conveniently packaged, marketed, and sold to us for $48 a pop? Is this the moment we finally say enough is enough and retire the Kardashian era of beauty for good? Or is this just another step in a never-ending cycle where today's outrage becomes tomorrow's accepted norm? Let me know what you think in the comments.